So it really is a testament to, I think, how far technology has gone. It's pretty cool, right? Like you can source like great talent everywhere, connect them with technology, and create systems and processes, standard operating procedures, so that all this runs, like they've never met each other. We've never met each other. And you can build like a real global organization that runs really effectively. Welcome back to a special episode of STR Like the Best. It's great when Liz and I get to talk on the show together. The last time we did this was almost a year ago, but we're here in Taipei. We've been here for almost a month, here with our kids. And, you know, I think, what do we want to talk about today?
I think today, first of all, very glad to be here. It's been a while. Yeah, I think today we can talk about how we work together as a couple. I think a lot of people or friends actually ask me this question. So I think it will be a fun topic for us to talk about. And then how we spend the whole summer here traveling in Asia, visiting family and friends. I think it will be a fun episode.
Okay. Well, why don't we break up into two? So if you're listening to this, we'll cover like the how we work together, especially we're here in Taipei, you know, our properties are all back in America. It's a 12-hour time difference too. Why don't we do that first, and then we can talk about, I think, you know, this was a big personal goal for me, right? For me personally, to, not Taipei specifically, but really just to be able to leave New York for the summer and like spend time away. It's basically impossible if you're working a 9-to-5 job, a professional services job like investment banking, like I was. Like there's just no way you can break away for this long. You could drop off your family and go back and work, but there's no way that you would be able to spend the time here. So I would love to kind of cover that. So I know kind of coming back to Taiwan was a personal goal for you as well, right?
Yeah, it's a huge goal for me. Actually, probably it was one of the biggest reasons why I left my 9-to-5 in the beginning and why I wanted to do something with real estate, and Airbnb short-term rental was the catalyst of that.
So then why don't we start with that first? I feel like that's where, you know, we're both like the most passionate about, honestly, right? Because like the why versus like the how of how we do it, like the why we did it. Look, we started business back in 2016 together. We're both working. Liz was at Kate Spade. I was still at B of A. I was working in the M&A group there, you know, pretty long hours.
It was pretty long hours.
Long hours.
I remember the days that you come back really late at night and then you have to leave early in the morning before I even wake up. Yeah.
Right. And then, I don't know, and then, you know, at your job too, right? Like, it's pretty stressful. I mean, how much were you making? Right, this is 2016 dollars.
Yeah, that was 2016, probably around 70 to 80, depends on the year and bonus.
Yeah, which, I mean, like 70, 80, like what can that really do now?
It would take a long time, I would say.
It'd take a long time.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons.
Yeah, and then, you know, and then, you know, it's been 9 years now. You know, definitely not straight lines to the right. You know, there's definitely been a lot that's happened along the way, but being able, I think, you know, our focus has always been how do we achieve that time freedom, you know, especially when we have a family. And we have 2 kids now. Athena was born in 21, Jackson's born in 23, you know, we have a 4 and 2-year-old basically running around. And, you know, I think the first part is like, how's this business change us as parents? And maybe I think reflecting on like, what if we both were still working? I think I was still banking, you know, 9 years later, I would be a managing director, probably make, I think it's been a strong market, probably make like $3 million. That's probably my total comp. Probably working like 120 hours, traveling all the time. But that $3 million isn't really $3 million gross to me. It'd be $3 million net. I mean, sorry, it wouldn't be $3 million net, it'd be $3 million gross. After taxes, that'd probably be like 1.6, 1.7. Do you think you'd be working? If I made $3 million, would you think you'd be working?
I don't know. I think I would still be in some capacity. Not sure if it still would be at K-Spade. Just never thought like being stay-at-home mom was one of my biggest goals. I think my personal goal was to have something that I can work on my own terms. So this is why we're here.
Actually, I'm really curious about that. You know, like being a stay-at-home mom, that was never a goal.
It wasn't. I think at that age, I just never thought about these things. And at that time, my goal was just how do I break out of 9 to 5 so I can really have control of my own time and really have that freedom of time to see my family when I needed to. So that never was even in my thought.
I guess no matter how much money I would be making, if I was making, I think I think you would still want to do something. I don't think you're the kind of person just
Yeah.
enjoy being at home and cooking and cleaning and.
To be fair, you have way more patience than me with the kids. So yeah, I don't think it would end well if I'm just stay-at-home mom.
I mean, I think it's a lot to ask for women actually, just like give up their career entirely after their kids too. Like it's a lot to just like shed that identity, just like being a mom, right?
Yeah, and I do really enjoy what I'm doing now, and if I can have the ability to support my family and then be the mom I still want to be, I think this is a perfect balance. Of course, and I do think being a stay-at-home mom is incredible. It is one of the hardest jobs.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. We have done it like sometime just a week at home, two of us together.
It's impossible.
We are still struggling.
I mean, to be fair though, like we still have to like work though,
Yeah,
right?
we
Like
still
it's
have
not
to
like
work, of
we,
course.
not like the business runs. Like, okay, so for example, so we've been in Taipei now for, and you're just talking about like being in Taipei, like been here for, we left on July 19th. It's, we're recording August 14th, so almost a month. On the Airbnb business side, I mean, have you worked on it at all this month?
On the operation side, no, I haven't. The only thing we work on really is on expansion. We did.
No, but what have you done? Like, what have you done on the Airbnb business like this last 30 days? Besides, like, there's a couple units that we built, right?
Yeah,
And then
only the expansion. Like I said, it's just the expansion, but nothing on the operation side. Our team really is such an amazing team that has been with us for such a long time. They really take the lead, and I think that's a pretty amazing thing to see. If you build a system and really let it run, it really frees up your time.
So, like, quantify, like, how many hours have you spent on the business this month?
Less than an hour, I would say.
Less than an hour total, really?
Total, really looking at the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably still spend like 5 hours a week. I'll still spend like 30 minutes in the morning, kind of checking everything, 30 minutes at night, kind of just following up, making sure everything's okay, checking the reports, checking the metrics. I've already spent like an hour. I think I spend like an hour a day on it, 30 in the morning, 30 at night. And, like some random stuff comes up where I have to be involved, like the heater in the sauna, for example, just like helping the team troubleshoot that. But outside of that, and I think it does really open our time to, as we're here, right? Like, here in Taiwan, we're lucky we have a lot of family and, kind of help here is inexpensive. Your mom found, a helper for us, basically. Her name is Xing Xing. And then she basically, it's like $10 an hour. She literally comes at like 6 a.m. to help us get the kids ready for school. And your mom makes breakfast in the morning. So like we get to kind of get up and just like roll through and then get them to school. And then at 5 o'clock we pick them up. And then Xing Xing's there with everyone and all your family comes around too. Like yesterday we had like 10 people at home
together.
Yeah, and then we had like 5 people playing with the kids, and so we got to kind of like swap in and out. So it's really been really nice actually being here, because at home it would have been like just us, but here it's like all the family. They're like excited to see them. Athena's Mandarin's gotten like really really good too in the past month.
Yeah, I think so, and I think not only that. I think the biggest thing is, for me, my personal goal was to have this. I want the kids to grow up with the family. And most of my side of family are in Taiwan, and I am really close with them. So I want the kids to really experience that growing up as well, building that relationship. And you really have to be super intentional, especially we're living so far away, 16 hours flight away. But I think that effort is so worth it, just seeing their interaction with my cousins, all the aunties, just like, they had so much fun. And really helps their development too, I think. So I think being able to do this, I'm really grateful
I mean, like, there's nothing like family. There's nothing like family. You can always like hire help, but there's nothing like family where it's like that. You know, I don't know. It's like they just like intuitively know, oh, this is like my niece or nephew,
Yeah.
my aunt. And it's really nice to see them like play together. And then really for us, you know, it's the manifestation of this dream that we had and that we worked hard towards. Because it's not fundamentally about, money is really just a tool, right? It's a tool to get what you want. And for us, this is like a big part of what we wanted was just like actually, when the kids are off of school in late June, you have this, gap, right? And then as they get older, obviously they're gonna have their own activities. Maybe they don't want to come here. At least when they're younger, like they don't have a choice. We just take them. And they come here, and they're really more like we're both Taiwanese, so they're really more immersed in the culture here. They actually get to live here. They go to a camp that's here. It's taught in English, but obviously everyone here is Taiwanese, so like they speak that. They're around us. They're around the family, and I mean, even in a month, I see the change with this, Athena and Jackson. Like, just they're much more. I mean, just when they're growing up too, but like when Athena, especially, like her Chinese has gotten. It's pretty crazy in a month how she speaks in like complete sentences, and she like order you around in Chinese and like argue with you in Chinese. It's like it's crazy actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. Her Chinese might be better than yours.
Probably.
Yes.
And then also like her and Jackson get to go to school together. Like they get in the same class. In America, that would never be the case. Here, they're actually in like one consolidated class.
Yeah, which is really unique and special. And there's going to be such a short window they can do this, which is nice. So I think if we make this work, we're gonna try to come back every summer to just see the family for a longer time, just so we can enjoy this family bonding time together.
Yeah, and then from like a work perspective. It's our busy season, right? Like all of our markets where it's the busiest time of the year. There's a lot of check-ins and checkouts. Yep. The reservations are the highest value. And this is actually a time when like a lot of things can go wrong. Like the HVAC, there's always like an HVAC issue no matter what you do, right? Because it's running really hard during the summer in like Philly or Tennessee. There's just a lot of in and out, so there's just more wear and tear, and like you just got to be operationally really on top of it, and really, I think a lot of people are like, man, how do you do 40 properties away and not, and we own 7 of them, right? Like, we really care about what happens there. This isn't like we're managing for someone else where, it's their house. Like, this is our like retirement. This is like what's going to feed our kids. So really it's a testament to, I think, how far technology has gone, right? Like you can really manage everything remotely. Like we can see everything happening real time with cameras, with locks, with all the automations, with AI. We can hire really good people in different parts of the world. Pretty cool right now. We have staff on 6 of the 7 continents, or 5 of the 7 continents. North America, so in Chicago, we have staff, and obviously New York, us, Tennessee, Philadelphia. In Europe, we have staff member in Poland, and England. In Africa, we have a Nigerian woman that started working with us. We have a person in New Zealand that's working with us, and then we have staff in the Philippines, and other places in Southeast Asia. So, outside of Latin America, like it's pretty cool, right? Like you can source like great talent everywhere, connect them with technology, and create systems and processes, standard operating procedures, like so that all this runs. Like they've never met each other. We've never met each other. And you can build like a real global organization that runs really effectively. And, it's not like you snap a finger and it just happens, but, with time and the right process, I think it's a testament to that. Because if we didn't have that, like we couldn't do this.
No, we can't. And yeah, and especially we still have our media business here, and we actually experience our highest growth while we are here traveling, which is incredible. I never thought this is something we could do, but yeah, kudos to both of us.
Yeah, when the passage of bonus depreciation, I think obviously timing, it passed on July 4th. For folks that don't know, basically the tax law changed on July 4th, 2025, where bonus depreciation went back to 100%. And, we're helping, a lot of we have like 14 students now that we're helping with buying a short-term rental and saving taxes. A lot of these are doctors, dentists, successful business owners, a lot of doctors, a lot of dentists actually. And, if you're out there and you're listening, you have a family, you're making money, you have a problem. If you make money, you're going to be paying taxes. Like, it's a continuing issue. If you want to buy real estate, it's a really good way to defer a lot of that tax liability through a bonus depreciation and have yourself a great property that you can use or you can rent out on Airbnb and be able to pay the mortgage and make some money, right? So it's really attractive. We've done it, we've executed this strategy since 2020 and now helping others do that and seeing them successful.
Yeah.
Seeing them on their contracts, seeing them, being able to execute on this has been really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's a really great feeling. And I'm sure people who are listening to this now will be like, why are you doing this? This question comes up all the time. People always ask Michael, well, if you have a portfolio that's doing so well, why are you doing this, giving all your knowledge away to other people? Can you kind of answer that question here?
Yeah. I think it's twofold, right? I think one from just a personal perspective, how much has this changed our lives? Coming from pretty beat up at work, not really seeing each other, and like kind of figuring out like, man, how are we gonna raise a family and be good parents? And now like just being really present and kind of being able to do kind of what we want. And how we want to raise the kids because we have the time. Not necessarily the money. Everyone has money. I think a lot of people listening to this probably have plenty of money, right? It's like the time and the freedom to do that. I think that like I want people to be good parents. I want, if you want to be a good parent, like I want to help you actually. Because I think it's really important, especially early childhood engagement with kids is like super critical. It's tiring as heck. Don't get me wrong. There are days I'm like, man, dude, like work is like a vacation. The kids is like way much work. But then you see their growth and then like they seek you out. Like my son will seek me out in the morning to help put on his shoes. Like, makes me feel so good. It's like, man, like he wants dad. It's like, and then if I was working, I wouldn't be there, right? So I think I think most people that come into us, like they have young kids, they want to spend more time with the kids. And if I can help them like do that, like it gives me like intense gratification. Second, from a business perspective, we are able to expand our network with other high quality, high impact individuals that are doing other great things. So if I'm able to help them with that, for them to be part of my network, then I can, grow what I'm doing. I have, people that trust me, people that are investing with me, people that made money with me. So if I have other business ventures in the future, I have a ready network of people that I'm able to tap and to be able to work together. And it's a great way for me to build out my connectivity and build out my network. And lastly, look at how big the real estate market is in the US. I have a great strategy, but I'm not going to be able to cover all this ground, right? It's better for me just as a business person, as a business perspective, to be able to leverage this knowledge, share it with others, help them deploy it, grow my business revenue, grow my network so that I can grow other parts of my portfolio, my business, right? I think it's really important to have an abundance mindset. Yes. And sorry, I don't mean to like keep dribbling on, but like I think especially if you're working a job, like a professional services job, it's a very zero-sum game. Like I win, you lose. And then, it takes a long time to break out of that mentality. But if you really, I think to be a successful business owner, like you have to, like everyone has to eat. If everyone makes money, then, you have that abundance mindset. And that's how you're going to grow your business. Because it's like, if you always look at like, I win, you lose, like you might win that one game, but no one's going to do business with you. And to recreate those relationships takes too long. You want everyone to eat and make money, and then everyone contributes, and the pie grows bigger. So I don't want to grow your pie; I want to grow my pie, and I think we can do it together.
That's very true. And I do think like just seeing the success some of our community has, it's such an incredible feeling to be part of their journey, and you actually motivate us to do even more.
Yeah, like seeing like Julie and Andy, like Julie moved to quit her job, like Chris being able to grow his portfolio, like 20 plus units now. And then, getting married, it is like really cool, him and his wife. And
And Anne-Marie too. Shout out to Anne-Marie. If you're
Anne-Marie, yeah.
Yeah, your Hampton portfolio will be the top properties out there.
Yeah, and then like Brian and Courtney being able to buy their property in Minneapolis and now grow grow their arbitrage portfolio. I mean, there's like so many people that Dan being able to, he was at his job at Salesforce and now he moved to France with his wife and growing his Airbnb business there. I mean, just, Mike and Steve, like growing their business in North Carolina, and like, Mike growing out his other kind of parts of that business, parts of short-term rental business. Just seeing like all the people that we've worked with and seeing their success, it's been great. And it's like really gratifying. There's one thing about like banking, I guess, from banking, I was like, you help like rich people make more money. It's like, okay, like that's fine, right? But I think here you like help real individual people like actualize like their personal dream, and they work hard, and then we're able to just provide the guidance and the structure and the lessons that we learned from our journey, and being able to leverage that and being able to grow that community for ourselves. Being able to just do this podcast and have people listen to our story has been really rewarding.
And yeah, fulfilling and rewarding experience. And I think that kind of comes down to now we have built two businesses together. Now maybe we can go back to how do we actually divide the world and not argue with each other all the time.
Okay, well that'll be next episode.
Really? I thought.
Yeah. Why don't we? So we do it. So we cut it. We can cut this up into. So hey, if you're interested in listening, so we'll end this episode here, and then if you want to listen, the next episode will be about how Liz and I work together. So if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share with your spouse, partner, someone else that's thinking about doing real estate, maybe with their spouse, with their partner. If you're working a full-time job and you're thinking about trying to figure out a way to earn back your time, I hope you enjoyed this episode because it was a little unstructured, but we really talked about like why we did this, and then how it's impacted us here in Taipei. And I don't know, it's been a great trip. I really enjoyed it.
It's a really meaningful trip for us and for me personally too. First time I'm able to spend this amount of time with my family and with the two kids.
35 days, dude. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
And we're still we have 2 weeks in Europe after this too.
Yeah, we love it.
All right. If you enjoyed this, again, please subscribe and tune into the next episode where we're talking about how Liz and I work together. If you found this episode valuable, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when I put out new content on Airbnb investing. And if you want to learn about how to work with me more directly, I have links below on my description. Click on those and let's figure out how I can help you with your Airbnb investing journey.